They moved to Rapid City to get out of the warmth? Hey everybody, it's Tristan Emond with Mindful Living Realty, a realtor right here in Rapid City, the gateway to the Black Hills. I sat down with Tom and Aimee to talk with them about why they moved to Rapid City and what they love about it.
What made you decide, okay, I'm gonna move up from warm Arizona to chilly, cold South Dakota? Tell me the story of how that came to be, and what was your thought process during that time?
Probably because of the heat. Most of it was the heat. And yeah, that was one seasons in my life.
the story we tell is like, so since we both lived in Arizona for
almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. It's like,
I'm not really that old, but yeah.
I turned 40 this year, so it's hitting me. No. What was I saying? It's been hot, like every summer. Like the heat's fine, like I can tolerate it just fine, but it's just like every summer it feels like it gets hotter. And we've always wanted to like maybe move northern Arizona, like Flag or Prescott,
right? And
because it was colder and we can at least be close to our family and friends, but it's just the heat mainly. And then the population is just getting so big in Arizona. Packed. It's like it's like 8 million now, you know. And my parents moved us there in like the late 90s, so it wasn't what it is today. Like, and I've seen it just like Tempe, how that's blown up, and then places like
our small town that we moved into, we built a house there with the idea of it being small town, and within the few years that we lived there, it became like
it blew up.
Metropolis, like overnight, and we're like, okay, can't do this.
Well,
it's too much.
When we moved there, the population I thought was 45,000 is what we looked up, and when we left it was 75,000. So, and it's just a small little town, so it like blew up. It almost doubled in size in just what, 3 years or so. 3 years, yeah. So and the traffic was bad, and so all those things were like the main things. And then with COVID, when everybody locked down and things kind of changed a little bit, it felt like we were like, this is so when that happened, it's like you were stuck where you lived, right? So you really had to analyze like
where you are. This
is where I will be stuck if something like this happens, you know. And we were both like,
this is not where we want to be.
It's not where we want to be stuck, you know. No. So that's when we started looking. So we thought South Dakota or Utah maybe, and I can't remember what other places we were thinking.
But other Wyoming, I think we were looking at too for a bit, yeah. Just because it just more fit our lifestyle and for our families and the weather. That was like, okay, if we're gonna go somewhere where we get our seasons in, we can have possibly a white Christmas and all that stuff. So we needed a big change for sure.
It's actually kind of funny because a lot of people moving from South Dakota, guess what they're running away from? The winter.
Cold.
They're going north. Yeah. In fact, the majority of people moving out of South Dakota, they went south.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is.
That's fine.
Yep.
Jokes on them though.
Yeah, no. Just wait. I know, I'm like, I'd rather kind of freeze a little bit than be outside in 120 degrees and it's miserable. You can't play outside. It's just way too hot.
We're still in the honeymoon phase though.
Yeah, it's early here.
So,
yeah.
Like, of course it seems like it's going to be more enjoyable, but
no regrets.
With cold, you can bundle up. There's more layers you can add. Yeah. And the saying is, it's not too cold. It's not the right clothing. Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that or not. But you can go and if snowshoeing or snow skiing or whatever, and you know when it's hot, it's like, well, I'm just gonna stay in my AC. Thank you very much. But
one of her sayings, like when we were talking about it, it's like, because it was like in the middle of summer and it's hot out. It's 115 degrees outside, you know, and I said to her, yeah, but are you going to be too cold? You know, and she's like, I can always put more layers on. Yeah. You can only take so many layers off. And we've hit the point where you're down to what is socially acceptable to walk. And it's like, it's still too hot, you know?
Still too hot. You can be in a tank top and shorts and just like, and then you're just burning. Yeah. Your flesh is just literally burning. And it's like, I can't put on so much sunscreen. And that's a whole process to do.
And then it not to keep ranting about the heat, but it's like when you when you go do something, right? Like, so you want to go to the carnival, right? And you go there and there's all these people and it's hot. It's like, it takes away from the experience. So I have to drink water. I have to make sure I'm in the shade so I don't get sunburned, you know? It's just like, you're thinking, it takes away from the experience. And then
you're worried about the elements more than you actually are having fun.
Right. And then we went to that trick or treat thing at Storybook Island, right? And like, we were leaving and the park was right there, and we're like, you want to go walk through the park? I was like, yeah. And we were like, you know, took my daughter and she got to play in the leaves and check out the creek, and it was because it was nice out. Yeah. You know, and
I just remember last year in Arizona doing the same thing at a pumpkin patch, and I'm having like an actual temper tantrum over the fact that it's so hot, and I'm trying to dress like it's fall. Like, I'm like trying to be with like the long sleeves because I'm like, it's October, it should be cold, and I'm like, nope, and I'm sweating, and I'm just like, okay, this is miserable. Like, let's go home. Let's be done with it.
And now this sweater weather is a real thing. Come on, all right.
We did it like,
I know, we're buying all the flannels and like sweatshirts. Like,
all last week we bought all the long sleeve shirts and thermals, and the first thing I did, so the week that we got out here, my dad and I went to Fleet Farm, and
nice.
The first thing I was looking for was like a thermal shirt, because it was still kind of chilly, you know. It was like, it was in the 60s or something. Yeah. And I was like, I want a thermal shirt, because I can never find them in the valley. And I walk into Fleet Farm, and there's a whole like aisle of them.
It's like yes. We're like, yes.
So silly, but.
All right, so we made the decision.
Yep.
Call me. What in the whole experience and the whole process, whether it be you know, from the basic get-go of calling me first to getting into your home, what are a couple things that really stick out in your mind as far as the experience that said that was the most amazing thing, was these little points? You know, what would you say was the thing that you liked the best about the whole process of getting up here?
I think for me it was how honest you were when it came to going through houses for us, because again, we were doing this long distance, so it's not like we could come physically see the homes ourselves, and you were bluntly honest about when you went into a house and you're like, oh, this has got this and this has got that, or you know, it's kind of, you were very honest about the homes. It didn't come off to me like you wanted to just sell us something.
The first house wasn't that
like get it done or whatever. Get it done
as quickly as possible. Yeah, it was I forget which house it was, but you
I really like the house.
There.
Yeah, I want to go see it right across
You really
the way.
wanted that house.
I really wanted it, and then Tristan was like, there's all these things.
There was one, I think it was the first house you looked at, you, like, before you even walked in, you were commenting on everything. Like the paint or something, and how it was like coming out, you know, oh, you're gonna have to repair that. And yeah, that was nice. You weren't just pointing out like all the super nice things. And then yes, the one that we really liked, you were like, well, you're gonna have to repair these windows need to be changed, and you're gonna have to do this, and that's gonna cost you probably this amount of money. And it's just like, yeah, you're right. And then what did you say to me? You said something like you wanted us to love the house, I think, and not hate it later because it would cost more money. Like you didn't want to put us in a house,
not a house, like
that we would hate later because it would become a money pit. So yeah, we appreciated that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I liked was, so strategically I was like, okay, yeah, we live in Arizona. We want a house in South Dakota. We've looked at houses, gone house shopping before. We can't do that. It can't be like Wednesday we're gonna go cruise over and check out the house that we like. Like we want to look at the houses. How are we gonna do that when we're so many miles away? And yeah, I reached out to you, and you had no issue being able to do that, and that was really helpful. We wanted boots on the ground, as it were, and then we planned our trip to check out the area, and we were here for like a week, I think, and I met with you, and you took 2 hours, and we drove around, and you showed me everywhere, so it gave me a good idea of what the area was like, and what spots looked like what, and I later took her around, and we explored them even more.
This is what Tristan showed me. This is what we got to see.
So yeah, that was really nice and helpful.
Yeah, so that was a lot of it for me.
Perfect. Cool.
We'll definitely put that train up though. In the house. Where you're like, this little area up here, you got to put up the train that goes from there to there. We got to have the train.
The train is important.
The Christmas train.
Yep. So what is it that, now that you've found a home that you love, you're in it, what is it that you love most about your home right now?
it actually feels like home when I'm in it and I come home to it. Back in our old house, like it was our house, like we built that house, but we'd come home and it's like, it's just, we're in a house, we're here. And now I kind of feel like it actually is like home. It's cozy, it's comfortable. I just, everything I saw about it in the pictures is exactly what it was, and it's probably better than what I thought it was when
That's
we
a
first
huge
saw
statement
it.
for me as a realtor,
Yeah.
to want to make sure that you find a place that feels like home.
Yeah.
So that's amazing for
Yeah.
me to hear.
It's true.
That's huge.
Well,
Yeah.
and like the house that we're in now is the forever house, but to her point, it's like
it could be, and I'd be totally fine with it.
we're not thinking about what the next house
Yeah.
is. And I mean, we're talking about maybe we'll buy some land somewhere,
yeah.
you know,
A
thinking
cabin.
but we're thinking like retirement
Retirement.
now. Like, what are we gonna do long? Like, this will get us that stretch. So.
Yeah. Instead of a 5-year plan, like, okay, now let's start planning for the next house.
Right.
It's more of like way down the
Which
line.
is comfort, you know, gives
Yeah.
you comfort. So.
Right. All right, so you've been in the Rapid City area for a few months now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you love about Rapid City and the Black Hills?
I loved all the green and the trees. And what was that? Is it Canyon Lake
Canyon Lake Park.
Park? I'm in love with that place because it's just so pretty and everything is so green and the air smells fresh. And the snow. It already snowed and I'm excited about that. So.
This season, yeah, 'cause I say in Arizona it's like Groundhog's Day, and some people really love this, but it's like you walk outside and there are blue skies, and you know
Right.
you see clouds sometimes, but it's like it's always blue skies. So you go out like just blue. There's no clouds or anything, and so it just every day feels the same. And it's been nice here because we have this season, so you have the trees change. They turn yellow and then they turned orange and then they fell and now there's snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And we were at Old McDonald's farm, right? The petting zoo. And
Love that too.
we
Kids
were
obsessed.
Oh yeah, I bet.
there were leaves everywhere, and I said it to Aimee. I'm like, this sounds stupid, but I feel like I'm in like a movie, like because like when
it's not the same.
like so on a
It's
TV
so
show,
different.
you know, when it's fall, you know, there's oranges and there's leaves falling, and you're like, oh yeah, it feels fall because it's fall-y.
When
But
you're
in Arizona,
it just
there's
looks
not.
all the same.
like, the trees in Arizona aren't the type that change colors, you know, like so generally. So it's like the trees are green all year round, and it's fine. It's like so I was like, this feels like we're in a TV show, and it's nice. So.
But yeah, what else do I like?
Oh, I fill up my car like once a month, so that's nice.
Gas.
When I was working in
everything was a
Arizona,
trek.
you know, I was driving to the office every day. I was filling up the car once a week, so we fill up we fill up once a month now. That's nice, because everything is within. So
Everything's very like close.
in Arizona, if you're going to drive someplace, it's probably going to take you 30 minutes to get there.
One way, and then the
like,
rest of the way back.
the Phoenix
Not an
Metro-
hour if it's traffic.
area, you know, it's like, you live in Phoenix, but you're going to Scottsdale, you know, you're going to Mesa, you're going to Chandler, like you're going, you can shop locally, but you know, especially
no matter where you are, even if you're on the outskirts, you have to go into the city. You have to go into all of those like heavy traffic areas, and it takes forever.
Well, we've lived there for
Just getting to the airport was like, we've been in the city for like an hour, haven't we? Why are we not at the airport yet?
And it's literally like 10 minutes, like actually 10 minutes away, but it takes you 45 minutes to an hour because of traffic.
Yeah, and then since we've lived there we got a lot of connections in Arizona. So it's like family lives in North Scottsdale, family lives in Gilbert, so it's like my mom wants us to come over for lunch, and it's like, okay, but it's gonna take me an hour to get there. It's going to take me an hour to get back. That's 2 hours in my day.
Granted, we moved like an entire, several states away from all of this. Now it's a lot further, but now it's more fun because you could just fly out and
when we lived
hang out and visit. And
the Gilbert Chandler area, you know, my uncle would have, you know, like a barbecue or something. Right. He lives in Peoria, so that would still take me an hour. So
one way.
It's, that sucked. So
At least now you have a Allegiant flight that takes you right there.
Right.
And then.
Well, and the airports are night and day.
And we'll start
different.
coaxing everybody to just come follow us.
Maybe. Only the good ones.
These ones good ones.
But the airport, like,
It's so cute. How is like an airport cute?
When you go to Sky Harbor, it's like this endless, because they don't let you. There's no place to just park and wait because there's so many people coming and going through there, and yeah, there's like thousands of people in that airport. Then you land here and there's maybe 100 on a busy day, and it's just like, wow.
It's a totally different world. That's kind of what it is. It's just a completely different world out here. And I love the downtown area. We were just there for lunch, and I'm like, they're setting up a skating rink. Like, are you kidding?
It's cold enough.
Ice skating rink here. Never ever happened.
Like an actual ice
skate. Actual ice skating.
They do it, but it's like fake.
It is all
fake ice.
Yes.
Yeah. But
where it's like on a tarp, and they kind of like make it's bad.
Really?
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. And then you can Santa is down there during holidays, so you know
it's gonna be so good.
The kid will enjoy that.
I love
you know,
it.
there's just a lot of little things that happen. Then they have ice skating shows and stuff down there. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, we went on. It was a Sunday for lunch. It was last Sunday we went down there for lunch, and yeah, we're walking around bundled up in our jackets because it was cold and
It was cold. It was
windy.
And you look, and there was like nobody there.
There's
like,
nobody.
You look, like there's people walking around, but it was not. Yeah.
It was quiet. You do try to do that in Arizona, anywhere downtown at any of those popular places. You're shoulder to shoulder. You're waiting for like an hour and a half for something, and it's just, it wasn't fun anymore.
Some people love it. We just don't.
Yeah.
we wanted to be where there's less people, and it's funny. It's funny what people think is jam-packed here, you know, like, so what, yeah, like Sturgis
You're talking
week,
about the traffic and
Sturgis week over by the Target is a mess,
Yeah.
but I'm like, this is like a Tuesday in Tempe, like
just a regular
like every day, this is the thing. You go there now, you know, it's not that at all, but yeah, it's nice here.
Yet another family that loves living in South Dakota. If you like this video, make sure you watch this playlist with a bunch of other similar client testimonials. And don't forget to watch this video as well. Thanks so much for watching. Have an amazing day. And remember, love where you live.